Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Harriet and I'm a visual brand designer. As you can see, I changed my whole setup because I look back to my previous two videos and trying to find ways to improve my video quality and also the content as well. And I found that one of the biggest thing that put me off is that my video feel too scripted and too formal. I don't want to be in that position, which is why I try to make my videos more casual and more vlog-like and to incorporate some of my daily elements and make the video more fun and easy to watch. In today's video, we'll be diving into a creative brief called The Cocktail Club. In this video, which is the first part of the brief, we'll be focusing on logo creating and also manipulating types. I'll also share with you some of my go-to Instagram accounts that I really like whenever I need some boost for creative juice or whenever I want to get over my creative block. So yeah, let's go straight into the video. Besides my own Into Your A to C challenge, I'll go to these amazing brief accounts created by two fabulous brand designers. The first one would be Brief Club by Natalie Gallup, where she posts a new brief every Monday, and then once you've uploaded, tag their account and using the hashtag. 4 potential winners will be chosen the next week and be voted by others to be featured as their winner of the brief. I've only joined in the challenge once and it was Toji, which is a winter apparel brand, and it got quite a bit of good feedback and response. All in all, I had an amazing time doing that passion project. Another one that I'm going to introduce you would be Briefbabes by Taylor Amy, which is also where I've got the Cocktail Club brief from. I literally just ran through her entire feed and bookmarked the ones that I'm really interested working in. One thing that the brief really stood out to me is that they have a Meet Your Client section where you get a fuller story behind the brand, including who the target audience is and what their required design laterals are. This makes the whole project more realistic, as if you're working with a real person and you dig deeper into the client's needs and wants. Let me give you an overall view of the Cocktail Club. It is a weekly cocktail subscription service that requires a logo, packaging design, and a thank you card. I've expanded upon the brief a little further. We're gonna target our audience towards the millennials between age 24 to 35 with the purpose of having fun at one's comfort, aka their own home, as these booths are delivered right at your doorstep. We stand social distancing. There's no restrictions as to keeping cocktail being a social or a high-class drink. It is rather affordable and approachable, with a bit of cheekiness that is ready to grab after a full day working from home. Okay, so whenever I try to find fonts for a particular project, I would go back to my Adobe library because it's a part of the Adobe Cloud service. So whenever you activate Illustrator, like the list of fonts that you've already downloaded will be there. Or I just go to Adobe Fonts to find other ones that are suitable for the project specifically. So yeah, let's do some exploring.
Okay, first of all, we're just gonna type in the name of the brand, which is the Cocktail Club. And at the moment, the image that's in my head is gonna be the Cocktail Club, but in some decorative bold syrup, like Cooper Black. And because it should be something that is more approachable and it's not a drink that is being drunk in a very serious or very big like party occasions. I was just trying to like normalize and bringing cocktail into people's houses because it's a subscription service. So whenever people feel tired after a week of work, for example, they can just simply put their feet up and drink the cocktail from their comfort of their home. And that's the main idea of the Cocktail Club. And also try to make people feel more loose, like let loose, because people get stressed, and especially during COVID when we should keep a social distance. And the Cocktail Club, it could be drunk individually, so people could enjoy having a one-person's party inside a house, and yeah, just you can have fun. You don't have to get drunk, but you can also be drunk on music. You can also have fun in your alone time. So the Cocktail Club is to bring in that mindset that you can have fun whenever, whatever, with whoever, and but also keeping that safe distance in mind. After that, I'm dragging the selected fonts to another column, and I just erase all the ones that I feel is inappropriate for this brand. And some of them are shortlisted as the subheading or the paragraph text. And I try to find one that is matching the brand's image, which is quite quirky and playful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be childish. For example, some of them are actually quite bold or they have already been manipulated quite a lot already, so it leaves me a little space to explore my options, which is the reason why I ticked off some of the fonts that are on the list and just keep the ones that allows me to have more fun with the types. I'm keeping the last 3 fonts that I selected, and I picked the middle one and try to incorporate some of the elements from the font at the top. Some of the key ideas were to make the font that I selected. Let me see which font it is. It's called Decoy. And I'm trying to make the font more playful and have more characteristic than it is at the moment. And I came across this idea of incorporating elements of the Zoom, because Zoom party and people use Zoom a lot when they're working from home. So I tried to manipulate the O to resemble the shape of the O within the Zoom logo. And after that, I play around with the thickness because it's slightly too thick to match with the rest of the type right now. And you can see immediately that it doesn't belong to the same font family. So I just tinker with the thickness of the O. After that, I changed the size and the placement of how the O sits alongside with the 2 C's. After that, I play around with the bow of the C, which is to mimic the font at the top. And I try to bring in that element of being very swift, and it's like the comfort of your bed kind of engulf you and give you that sense of support. And I use the smooth tool to smoothen the edges of the curve, and also I rotate the C a bit to make it more like laid back and less stern, and make it more flexible in the form. For this part, I play around with how the placement of the COC works, and I came up with this idea of having the C behind the O. It's like putting COVID behind us and we look forward. Isn't it very clever? There's no one ever. And yeah, it's just like silver lining as well, and also putting COVID behind us, which is the little pun. It's not pun, but little play in words when it comes to arrangement of the letters within the entire logo type. When it comes to making our primary logo, I like to put down some phrases or the date when the brand is established. And as for this project, I want to have a catchphrase or so-called tagline in my logo. And I think of many ideas like life before COVID, but do we really want to mention about COVID in our brand? I think it feels like very dated after, for example, like 5 years. It's like, that's so 2020, and I don't want that. And I think of other slogans as well. Live like before private COVID, and party at a distance or drink at one's comfort. But I prefer party at a distance. I feel like it's more catchy and people remember it well because social distancing. Hello. After that, I just keep on making other combinations and try to make some smart arrangements for different logos variations. And for example, like party at a distance, I try to make the words spread out and aligned at the 2 ends, and literally it says what it does, which is at a distance. I also experimented with making the distance between words, which is tracking, make it wider and more further apart, so it really shows what it does, which is distancing each other. I just experimented with different arrangements of how the main logo is going to look, how the secondary, which is the stack logo, is going to look, as well as some logos that's potentially very adaptive to the shape of the cocktail can, which I still need to explore more on, because at the moment I'm just working at a blank canvas and it might not even necessarily fit onto the actual can packaging. I'm just doing some primary work and tests on how the logo would potentially look, but it's not the final design. So yeah, it's okay to make ugly designs because you're not at the final stage. You can still explore a little more, and you don't have to be too precious with your work. It's one thing that I learned after I've been designing for a while, and still learning to be more carefree with my work. And last but not least, I picked some of my favorite logo combinations so far, and try to play around with the words, how they're placed as well. And I picked 3 to 4 logos that I really liked so far, and I'm just gonna use these as my first drafts on the logo, and how I can implement them on my designs afterwards. So yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned with my next part of the video, and just stay tuned with more of the brand updates for the Cocktail Club, because I'm excited too. I'm just working at my own pace and try to film at different stages of design. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the process so far.
Now that we've got a range of logo variations, which is going to be super helpful in our next design steps, which include finding our color palette and also do some sketching and illustrations. So make sure you subscribe to my channel since you don't want to miss out on the next part of this video. You can also follow me on Instagram at Color Photographs if you want to stay tuned for more of my brand and packaging design updates. So see you in my next video. Bye!